What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. And today we have another massive release reaction for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video, and without any further delay, let's dive into this, everybody. So we have a massive release reaction in store for you guys today. So many different brands, from INFLIGHT200, JC Wings, all kinds of great stuff. I really hope you guys are excited for this, and let's not waste any further time here and get started, everybody. We have some really good releases here, and I'm really excited to dive into these. So without any further delay, let's get started. So it appears there's some in-flights here, which is very exciting. I'm not going to read that. You guys can if you want, but I want the best legitimate reaction that I can get here. So here we go with some new in-flights for 1-200. So here's a Flying Tiger Boeing 747-100 November 800 Foxtrot Tango polished with stand in a key tag, which is really cool. So glad to see that in-flight's picking up on this. JC Wings has done quite a bit of this, so I'm really glad to see that the Flying Tiger's also getting this now from INFLIGHT200, which is really cool. That's a nice looking model, and I really like that. So really good release right there for INFLIGHT200. And then following that, we have another Flying Tiger line. This is a Doubles DC-863 that's polished November 779 Foxtrot Tango, and this has the shark mouth on top of it as well, and also a stand-in key tag. So really nice effort right there. That's nice to see for that duo. Any others go along with that? That is it. So really nice duo right here from INFLIGHT200. Those will be really cool, and especially for the retro US collectors, that's going to be quite helpful in reference to the popularity. So that is really nice right there, and I'm sure that's going to be very well liked. So good job there to start us out right there by INFLIGHT200. Very nice. We'll take it over to our next release, as we'll have a new mold, it looks like. So let's take a look at this. And I kind of saw this, but this is a good time to clarify everything, since I didn't get a chance to talk about it publicly. And that is the brand new Antonov Airlines Antonov 225 mold, which is really exciting. So this is going to be a really cool aircraft. It is so unfortunate what happened to this aircraft earlier this year. It's crazy to think that that's already been that long ago, like 6 or 7 months. But nevertheless, we still have to definitely recognize these events, of course, and make a model to contribute to how awesome this aircraft was. And that's what we have right here from Gemini Jet. So I'm very excited for that, and that should be really nice right there. Also, go along with that, we have some new JC Wings, so let's take a look at that. Confirmed for pre-order. Here we go. FedEx Express McDonald Md10 November 628 Foxtrot Echo in the Fantasy livery. I kind of like this effort. This is kind of different. This is kind of like the FedEx Ground, I believe it has the green on it, so this is quite interesting. Of course, this is not a real-life aircraft. This is just a fantasy one, but I kind of like the difference here, and it looks kind of interesting to say the least. So nice aircraft right there from JC Wings, and that'll be quite applicable to say the least. Nice job right there. That's looking pretty good. Following that, we have Singapore Airlines Boeing 747-200 9 Victor Sierra Quebec Oscar. That is quite a weird tail number, but I really like that, especially the font on the Singapore livery. Singapore is one of the airlines that has been loyal to that design, and I think they've done a really good job with that. So that is a good looking aircraft right there for Singapore, and I think that's a really good one. So good job right there for JC for another good release. Following that, we have an on-the-planet Boeing 727-200 Juliet Alpha 8338 in the Monacan colors. Hopefully I said that right, but a good looking plane right there. I do like that livery, typical retro with the silver underbelly and then your cheat line, which is quite nice. I think they did a good job on that. It's nice to see another ANA retro model, and I think that'll be quite helpful for anybody looking for it. Nice release right there. And then following that, we have a TDA or a Toyota Domestic Airlines MD-81 Juliet Alpha 8469, and this is going to be their previous livery. So really nice to get to see that right there. I do like this livery, and I think a couple of TDA models have been made over the last couple of years, so this will be quite helpful for any Japan collectors that are looking for this, or anybody in general that is looking for a really cool retro MD-81. And now I have to say that is quite applicable to say the least. That's quite nice. A Hefty Airbus A380 9 Hotel Mike India Papa in the Save the Coral Reefs livery. Okay, so really like these. There's been a lot of environment liveries lately. We've seen a lot of Alaska's done, and then some other international carriers, but really cool to see the High Flies jumping on board, and now they're going to be talking about saving the coral reefs, which has been a big topic in the environment sector as far as I'm aware, at least what I remember from high school. So that is big, and I'm really excited to see that High Fly is going to be representing that. So really good job, JC, on the releasing that. That'll be quite helpful, especially for people that are looking to represent that. And following that, we have a really cool plane. This is an Aer Lingus Boeing 767-200ER November 234 Alpha X-Ray. So not only the livery is quite neat, but also the tail number 234 Alpha X-Ray. I'm taking a guess this aircraft maybe went to like Airmafly or something like that, or ABX Cargo. I really don't know, but this is quite cool to get to see this right here. So really nice aircraft right there, and I'm very excited to see how that turns out from JC. So another nice release right there. And here we go with the Cathay Pacific Cargo Boeing 747-8 Freighter Bravo Lima Juliet Bravo. So that's definitely registered to Hong Kong, and that's quite a nice aircraft. I really like that effort right there, and that'll be a really good one for anybody looking for a big cargo aircraft in the 200 scale. Nice job right there, and I'm pretty sure there's 748 mold in 200. It's pretty good, despite maybe a little bit of wing flex if I recall correctly, but still a really good mold right there to say the least. And following that, we have another one. They do not stop today for JC Wings. This is going to be a flaps down Southern Airbus A350-900 Bravo 30 Alpha 9. Okay, so good looking aircraft right here. I really like the livery, a nice standard one. Hopefully we get a normal one to complement this, but I think this is a good release right here, and for anybody looking for this aircraft, that's going to be quite helpful. And speaking of which, there is our normal one right there. This is the same tail number and everything. That's going to be quite helpful for anybody looking for that aircraft. I like the normal livery right there, and this has been a really nice release right here for JC. Very balanced, and I really like that effort. And here we go with the 1-400. So let's see what we got for JC this month. Air Canada Boeing 767-300ER, Charlie Golf Bravo Zulu Romeo in the Free Spirit livery. This is a really cool livery. This must have been around the 2010s if I had to guess, but I think this is going to be quite helpful for anybody looking for this aircraft, and it's really nice to see another Air Canada 767. It's been a little bit since we've got one. I think the polished 762 might have been the last one, so that's really nice to get to see. Maybe not as well. They may have did just a normal blue eyes at some point, but there's so many manufacturers nowadays I can barely remember. So, but nevertheless, really cool to get to see that aircraft right there. That's really nice. And following that, we have an Aer Lingus Boeing 737-500 Echo India Charlie Delta Echo, and this is going to be in their previous livery, which is really nice. I really like this livery, and I thought they did the 300 for this maybe in the 400 scale or something like this. This plane has been released at some point, I think, but nevertheless, I'm really excited to get to see it right here in the 400 scale. That'll be quite helpful, and I really like that livery. Very nice. Flops down, Thai Cargo Boeing 747 BCF. This is Hotel Sierra Tango Golf Hotel. I really like that aircraft. I like the combination with the Thai Cargo right there. That'll be really nice, and for anybody looking for that, that'll be quite nice. So good job right there by JC, excuse me. We also have a flaps down, which is really nice. So, or that was the flaps down, excuse me. This is the normal one. Again, really nice to get the variety there, and especially if you missed out on the normal one and would still want to get it, you can always get the flaps down, which I think is a really nice touch. So good job right there by Thai. And then following that, we have an American Airlines Boeing 747 SP November 602 Alpha Alpha. So obviously this mold is not quite as helpful. I think they did the JC Wings a couple years ago, did one like this as well. I think they did 601 or 603, something like that. But nevertheless, here's another version from them. And while the mold isn't great, it's still nice, especially if you missed out on that NG Models version, which I did do a review on recently for the channel, and I'm really pleased with that. So nevertheless, still a really cool model, and nice to see some more American Airlines retro aircraft making it in the sector for JC Wings. Very nice. And following that, we have a Royal New Zealand Air Force Boeing 737-200 November Zulu 7571. I kind of like that tail number. That's quite nice. So this is another really nice aircraft. I really like that dark gray and blue contrast. I think that looked really good on that aircraft. And that would even be cool just to have as just a random model in the collection. So really nice one though, and hopefully it turns out good on the JC Wings mold. And following that, we have Air Klein Airbus A330-900 Neo Foxtrot Oscar November Echo Tango. And this is another really nice aircraft. I really like the livery. It is quite unique, especially with the flower. While you do see some liveries like this every day, it's kind of interesting with the contrast. You don't see a tail design like this. You don't see the logo up here in the front every day. And that is quite a nice aircraft. So a good release right there. And I think that will be quite helpful for anybody looking for that. That's awesome. And following that, we have a lot Polish Boeing 737 MAX 8 Sierra Papa Lima Victor Delta in the Poland Independence livery. This is really nice. They have it on some other aircraft as well, but I'm really glad they're doing it on the 737 MAX, and I think this is going to be a good looking aircraft. So nice purpose, and I really like that livery right there. Good job right there by JC. This has been one of their better releases in quite some time. And I think I know what this is. This is a Star Alliance, but I've heard some people talking about a Lufthansa Star Alliance A340 coming out. Let me see if I can click on the aircraft because I'd like to see what this is for you guys. Yes, this is the Lufthansa Airbus A340-300 Delta Alpha India Foxtrot Alpha in the Star Alliance livery. I'm pretty sure I saw the exact same aircraft. I'm going to have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I've seen the exact same aircraft both at Chicago O'Hare International Airport and Denver International this previous summer. I would really like to get this aircraft. This is just the ETA, so I guess you can't pre-order it yet, but I'm most certainly interested, and I'm very tempted to get this aircraft despite already having quite a few Lufthansa models. This one's very special to me, and it is quite crazy that I got to see it back-to-back days on the same exact trip. That's just crazy to think about, and I think it's definitely deserving of getting that, because I heard some people talking about that. I was like, well, I thought that somebody else did it previously, but this must have been what they were referencing. So this is really nice, and I'm very excited for that right there. Great job, and I'm really excited. I'm pretty sure, like I said, I've seen that exact same aircraft, so I'm definitely very interested in that one, and hopefully they'll be available for pre-order soon. I don't know if that tab like broke. Okay, so I guess you can't pre-order these yet, but definitely interested in this and should be here in about a month or so according to the ETA. So hopefully it'll be in soon. I'm very interested in getting that aircraft. That's a really good one right there. Very nice release. And it looks like the page breaks possibly, but let's see if I can get it to fix itself, because that either maybe it did break or maybe it didn't. But that I think probably is, it seems like there might be something right here, but as you guys can see, the computer is not wanting to cooperate. Let me try to scroll all the way down again, and I'm not sure if there's something at the bottom there of that release, so if there is, I sincerely apologize that I cannot see it to reference it. But nevertheless, an outstanding release from JC Wings. This is one of the better ones that they've done in quite some time in my opinion. Some really good geography here, and this is a really good release, and I'm very pleased with that effort. it. So great job right there, especially the 1-400s, but I thought the 200s were also really good. I'm very excited to see that. So a really good release getting kicked off there, and even one that I might buy, which is quite impressive considering everything. So that's really good right there. Following that, we have some more JC Wings releases. This is going to be some future releases, so let me see if I can get this to click off so we can get started on these. Sometimes I have the issue with the computer where this taskbar on my email won't go down, but let me see if I can get it to fix, because sometimes I can get it rather quickly. There was a red plane, but I have no idea what it was, and I'm sorry, this is quite embarrassing, but I'm trying to get it to fix, even though it is not being very cooperative, so I apologize about that. Maybe if I go down a little bit more, scroll up. Dang it, I wish I could get it to fix. I've never not been able to get it to fix. Well, let me see. There we go. Okay, so here we go with the next release, and these should be some more JC Wings. So let's see what JC Wings has going this time around. Alrighty, here we go. JC Wings future release 1-200. We have a Virgin Blue Australia Embraer ERJ-190. This is Victor Hotel Sierra Papa India. These are really cool aircraft. It's really interesting with the Nashville maintenance base that they have, which is quite cool. But I think this is a good looking aircraft. I'm sure this will sell really good. So cool release on 1-200, and you don't see many 1-200 Embraer 190s. So I think that's a cool plane right there. Following that, we have a Team Fokker 50 F50. This is Delta Alpha Foxtrot Kilo uniform. This is quite helpful. You don't see a lot of Fokker 50s either, especially the Embraer 190 is probably significantly more popular than the Fokker 50. Now, Hero Classics does do a good handful of Fokker 27s, but not the 50s. So this is really cool to get to see. I think this will be a really good plane. So good job, and I've really enjoyed this release reaction so far. Excuse me. There have been some really cool planes. Let's see if we can continue that. This is another pretty cool one. This is an Airways Airbus A320 Hotel Bravo Juliet Lima Tango in the Help Alliance livery. I really like the livery, especially the front right there. You're getting all that good stuff in there. And these liveries have had some really good purposes as of late. So this will be another very applicable aircraft. I'm really glad to get to see that one released. Nice job right there. Condor Boeing 757-300 Delta Alpha Bravo Oscar November. A really nice aircraft right here. I really like them. This must be the model, I'm assuming, but it looks really good right there. Well, that might be real life. I'm trying to figure out. That kind of looks like a model, but it kind of doesn't. I think it's real life actually now that I'm looking at it with the lighting and everything. But this is still a really cool plane. I really like the details on that, and that's going to be quite helpful. Quite a unique livery with obviously the non-winglet 753. I like that effort, so that should be a pretty good release right there. And some more 1-400 releases. Let's see what we got going here this month. We have the Boeing Company House, Boeing 777-200ER, November 861 Bravo Charlie in the Echo Demonstrator 2022 livery. I really like the hybrid for Boeing right here. This definitely takes some of their best elements with some of their previous house liveries, but also put some new twist on it, obviously with the back half, the fuselage, the aft portion, if you will. I think that's quite helpful, so really like that release right there, and that'll be a cool one for anybody looking for just to try the JC Wings mold, which has been really good as of late, so that's quite nice. Condor Airbus A330-200 Delta Alpha India Yankee Charlie, excuse me, in the new design white body. So NG Models also did this version. I would recommend that one probably, but this one's still going to be pretty applicable. So if you are looking for it, highly recommend checking that out and getting it, because that's quite a nice aircraft. So good job right there for getting that release for Condor. That's quite awesome. Really nice release right there. Interactive Qatar Cargo Boeing 777F Alpha 7 Bravo Foxtrot Golf in the Moved by People livery. I like this. You don't see a cargo special every day, but this is really nice to get to see for Qatar. I think this works really well. So if you're looking for a Qatar cargo aircraft, this might be the one for you. So nice one right there, and that mold should be quite nice. And it's also interactive too, which is really helpful. So nice right there. Also, credit to all the respective photographers on these pictures. They do a really good job, and I will say, whoever picks these JC Wings, Easy Toys, whoever it is, they do quite a good job on the pictures. So really good. Speaking of which, here's another really good one for this interactive Air Belgium, excuse me, Boeing 747-8F Oscar Echo Lima Foxtrot Charlie in the Hongrian Group livery. Hopefully I said that right. This is a really nice livery. I really like the blue, yellow, and all just, that's a really cool mesh. While it's not necessarily coordinated, if that makes sense, it's a very, very nice livery, and I think that looks quite applicable. So good job right there, and that is really nice. And that is it for that one. Really good release right there, and that is quite nice. So good job. Now let's pan it into our next release. Not sure what's on deck next, excuse me, but I'm excited. Probably going to be in-flight, because that seems about what all we get. And yep, we have some Herpa 1-200s and some in-flight. So we don't do Herpa every day, but I thought it would be nice. I kind of just glanced at some of the titles on these, so I don't exactly know what Herpa releases will be in this one. But let's take a look. But first and foremost, let's get started with the pre-orders for 1-200 for in-flight. And I guess you can now pre-order $0 when using a credit card, so they must charge your credit card later from Easy Toys, which is quite interesting. So really nice right there, and this is going to be interesting. So let's see what we got from in-flight. Continental DC-1030 November 14062. That is a really nice release to get it started right there. There are going to be some retro collectors that are going to be very pleased with that effort from in-flight, and I think that is a really nice aircraft. I absolutely love the meatball livery, as it's referred to. I think that's a really good plane. So really hot start, a really good place to start. And in-flight's starting to become one of my favorite 1-200 planes. I would really like to try them because they seem quite nice. So really good release. Next up, Iceland Air Boeing 737 MAX, Tango Foxtrot, India, Charlie Papa in the new livery. I really like this livery with the green and blue. That is really nice. Now, there are some other ones with the yellow, ice blue, and all that, but I really like this green one. That stood out immediately to me. I think that looks really good. So if you're looking for an Iceland Air MAX, especially in the 200 scale, that one might be for you rather than the Gemini 1-200. So good release right there, and in-flight continues to kill it. How about this? Canada Boeing Airbus A350 in the One World livery, Alpha 7, Alpha November Echo. That is really nice. Okay, so there are going to be some people really happy about that release. I really enjoyed that, and I think that is quite nice. So good release right there, and I would really like to try some more in-flight planes like I was saying. Hopefully I'll be able to get one soon, but that is a really good plane right there. That's really nice. And following that, now we have some Herpa military aircraft in the 200 scale. Its first aircraft up is going to be the UAF Fairchild A10C Thunderbolt from Elston Air exclusive Cool Snowhog. Sorry, that was kind of a long one to rattle off, but that is a good looking aircraft. 572347. I like the green, gray, and white. That is quite a nice contrast. I think that will be a really good A10 for anybody looking for that. I would love to get some more military 1-200 planes. F-18, F-22, F-35, A10. I know Aviation 18 went on a huge tear getting those, so I'm quite inspired to do that just because of that, and they look quite nice. And that is a good one to explain that as well. And then following that, we have a Russian Air Force Tu-22M3 backfire RF34075. That is a really good looking aircraft right there. I like the mold there, and that looks really cool. So nice plane right there, and that'll be quite helpful for anybody looking for that aircraft. So that is a good release right there. Very nice. And then here we have some normal Herpa wings in the 200 scale. Let's get started with the Pan Am Double DC-6B. Clipper Bessie Ross, November 6523 Charlie. Somebody's going to be very happy about that. It was funny because I was recently doing a video and Gemini had their 1-400 release. Sorry about that, everybody. Had to sneeze and kind of wanted to turn my fan on, so there we go. But this Pan Am is going to be quite nice, and what I was referencing was for a video, there was a Gemini that's released in the 400 scale. My man, just taking a look at this 200 one. This is quite nice. As you can see with the antennas, the propellers look awesome, the mold, the nose landing gear, that is really nice. And honestly, something I would be interested in. I'm going to take a guess this is probably in the ballpark of like $80 to $90, but let's see. 119, and I'm not personally that upset about it because this is a really good looking aircraft. The mold on this is really nice, and personally one of the best prop 1-200s I've seen in quite some time, so that is probably worth the money. And if any of you get that, please let me know. I'd like to see. But Herpa doing some work in the US, I like to see it right there. Very nice. And then now we have a Lufthansa Vickers Discount 800, Delta Alpha November Alpha Charlie. Really nice right here, and this will be really helpful. So what I can say is we've had so many good releases lately in the 1-200 and 1-400 sectors of just retro planes. Aero Classic's been killing it. Now we got Herpa doing it, and all these companies have been doing quite a good job. So really good plane right there, and that'll be really good for anybody looking for that. Following that, we have an Air France Airbus A2 2300 in the same Tropez livery. Foxtrot Hotel Zulu Uniform Foxtrot. And that is a good looking aircraft. I really like that, and I'm sure there's a sticker like right here maybe, or there might be something back here that distinguishes that. But that's a good looking 220. Anybody looking for that in 200 scale, that'll be quite applicable, excuse me. So that'll be really good. Good release right there. And following that, we got a Fedex Airways Embraer ERJ-195. This is the E2 variant. Hotel Bravo Alpha Zulu India. I really like that aircraft. That is really good, just nice and simple. And this must be some sort of subsidiary for Swiss, I'm assuming, but that is really cool, and I think that's a good release right there. So nice one right there in the 200 scale from Herpa. Following that, we got a British Airways Fokker F100, Foxtrot Juliet India Oscar Alpha. Now, that's a quite nice aircraft. That's one that reminds me of Aviation 18. I think you would quite like that aircraft, but I know that 15% of my viewers are from the United Kingdom, so maybe you guys like that as well. So feel free to go get it. And I appreciate everybody that's watching this. Comment if you're from the UK below, or where you're from. Just that will be the question today. Love to see everybody in supporting the geography. That is so awesome, and it's what it's all about here. We are welcome to anybody, no matter what you do. We would love to have you here in the Redriveraviation family, and that's what it's all about. So feel free to comment below where you're from, and I really appreciate all my loyal viewers, excuse me. It means so much to me, and that's what it's all about right there. It means so much to me, and that's just so awesome. Sorry for the little intermission, but that's how much it means to me. So that is a great aircraft right there, and that'll be quite applicable for anybody looking for it. Following that, we had the Flybe 2022 new livery Bombardier Q400 Golf Julia X-Ray Charlie Echo Charlie X-Ray, excuse me. That was kind of a tricky one, but I like the new Flybe livery. I think it looks quite nice, and I wish them the best of luck on their revamp, and hopefully they do quite well. So I'll be interested to see how that goes, but best of luck to Flybe on the revamp, if you will. Following that, we have a KLM Doubles DC-915 Papa Hotel Delta November Alpha, or DNA, in the Amsterdam livery. I think this looks really good. Again, there was so many liveries like this. You have the gray underbelly with the cheat lines, and that's just what retro aviation is all about. And I'd love to do some more videos kind of talking about retro aviation, some of the trends that you would see, like liveries or timetables or whatever the case may be. But that's quite a nice aircraft in Herpa. Really balanced release. I'm really liking this so far. This is great. Following that, we have a Wolfwaffle Transall C160. I've never heard of a 60. Wow, that is a new plane to my knowledge. So this, I guess, is a WTD61, but I think tail number is 50 plus 86, I think, but this was the last flight, so this must be a very interesting aircraft. Again, have no idea about the C160. I've never heard of that aircraft before. Does look kind of similar to a C130, but much more like a C160 with the extended fuselage and everything. But that's quite an interesting aircraft and looks quite nice, so good job right here. I think that's a cool release, so good job right there. Very nice. Following that, we have a USAF C-130J-30 Super Hercules 085705. Excuse me, guys. In the Four Horsemen's livery. Sorry about that, guys, but nevertheless, a really cool aircraft right here, and I think this one looks really good. As you can see right here, you got the orange on there as well, and all those applicable details. So really nice livery right there, and I think that looks quite nice. So good release right there, and that is another great release from Herpa. Very nice. I'm kind of surprised not in the military section, but what can I say? Speaking of which, that is it for that release. That is a really good one. If you're looking for any of those, especially this one stands out the most to me. Highly recommend getting it. While $119, I would be surprised if it's not worth it, and that was one of the best ones to date in this video so far. Let's see what we have up next. So here's the Phoenix releases. I haven't got to look at Phoenix in a while, so this would be quite nice. Trying to get that American 333 ordered because I'd like that, but I don't think it's quite came in yet. But nevertheless, let's see what we got going with the next Phoenix releases. So this is probably September, but nevertheless, let's see what we have going. So excited for this, and this should be quite nice. So let's see what Phoenix is doing this month. UPS Boeing 747-8 Freighter November 628 Uniform Papa, and this is another really nice aircraft. So this might be like our 5th or 6th version of it, but I think it'll be quite helpful in the Phoenix mold. I think it looks quite good, and that should be really nice. So good release right there, and that should be really good. So nice release right there for UPS. Very nice right there. Following that, we have a JAL Japan Airlines Boeing 737-800 Juliet Alpha 337 Juliet, and this has a special livery on it. I don't know exactly what this livery is, but it looks really good. So another nice release right there, and if you're looking for another 737 for Japan, there it is. So really nice release right there. Following that, we have another Japan Airlines Boeing 737-800 Juliet Alpha 329 Juliet, and this has a really nice, not necessarily sticker to it, but some sort of design. I think it looks really good. So these two must pair up together, which I think looks really nice. So nice right there, and that looks really good. Good job right there by JAL. Following that, we have a Cabana Del Avicon, hopefully I said that right, Illusion IL 96-300 Charlie Uniform Tango 1250. Nice aircraft right there. That looks really good, and we don't get IL 96s every day, excuse me, and that is a really good looking aircraft. So nice release right there, and that will be quite helpful. Nice job. I kind of forgot they had that mold. That's quite nice. Following that, we have an Aeroflot one to go along with that. Romeo Alpha 96015. This is a really good looking aircraft. I think they did a really good job on this one. Nice looking aircraft. And that will be a nice duo right there for some IL fans. So that is really good, and I really like that. That's really nice. Alrighty, here we have a Qatar Cargo Boeing 777-200 LRF. A7, Alpha 7, Bravo Foxtrot Golf, but how about the Moved by People livery again? So let me think. I think InFlight did this in 1-200 scale, so now we have our 1-400 counterpart, and should turn out quite nice. So not quite the picture. The picture's fine, but not the best conditions. But every photographer is probably guilty of having bad conditions, but that wasn't that person's fault. So still a nice catch though, and I think it looks quite nice. So really good job right there. Following that, we have a Singapore DHL Boeing 777-200 LRF. This is 9 Victor Delta Hotel Alpha. This is also a really good looking aircraft. I think this will be a really good one for anybody's collection. I really like that, and that is a really cool one as well. Another one, and especially if you're doing like Cincinnati or something, that should be quite cool. Granted, I don't know if they fly to Cincinnati, but still a cool DHL hybrid no matter what. And here's another DHL Airbus E300-600 Delta Alpha Echo Alpha Sierra, and this is in the Pride livery, which is quite nice. Now I'm trying to think of the last one that was done. I might have been Phoenix, but somebody also did this aircraft. It might have been JC Wings. I forgot exactly who it was, but nice to have this version as well. And even if it's another Phoenix one, glad to see a re-release. That's quite nice. I think that is a really good livery right there, so looking nice. Following that, we have a DHL Polar Boeing 747-8F, November 855 Juliet Tango, or Golf Tango, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is like the third or fourth time they've done this. I thought they've done this at least one other time at the minimum, but maybe it's the DHL hybrid that's throwing me off, but nevertheless, a really nice aircraft, and I think it looks really good. And again, if you're looking for any U.S. cargo aircraft, like if you're trying to tackle Anchorage or something like that, this is a plane for you. So nice release right there. And then following that, we have the All Nippon Airlines Boeing 767-300ER. This is Juliet Alpha 622 Alpha, and I really like this aircraft with the winglets and everything. That looks very nice. So good delivery right there. I think that turned out quite nice. So good job right here by ANA. That is a really good effort to say the least. Okay, getting a brief. I've been talking really fast in this video. Here's the All Nippon Boeing 777-300ER Juliet Alpha 789 Alpha, and this aircraft I think is a blank one, which is kind of interesting. I think we're still waiting, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think we're still waiting on a standard ANA 333 livery, which would be quite nice. Now, I'd honestly consider buying it, but I know this one isn't standard because the standard livery is this one. So hopefully they'll do a standard one soon because I would really like to see that, but still a cool release. And while it's not exactly what we're looking for, it is kind of nice. So that is a good plane right there. And that is it for the Phoenix releases. Not the most overwhelming set, but still a nice one and very various in its geography. I thought they did a good job with that release. So nice one right there. Now let's take it into our next one. Not the Aero Classics because that video came out previously, and not the NGs because we've seen those at this point. And yes, more in-flights. Let's go with in-flights. And I saw the Fedex Md10. Very nice, and I think there might be another plane here. I will say it, I did see an American A319 was spoiled to me, but nevertheless, I'm very interested in getting that. But nevertheless, let's put all that on the back burner and get started with the Tobii NG 1-400 accessories for pre-order. Interesting. And there is the fire building. That looks quite applicable. I really like that design. That looks really good. You know, it's definitely a big step up on 3D printed stuff, but it's also not, it looks really good. I mean, yes, you could try to replicate it, but I think the station looks really good. And I guess Tobii is another brand of sorts, which is quite interesting. Don't know too much about them, but nevertheless pretty cool. And let's see what their price is on that one, because it would be interesting to see what a price is. Let me slow down talking. Okay, so no price yet, but it looks quite nice. Here's some various pictures of it. I really like the little lookout station or whatever that's called, but if it comes with fire trucks and everything, that's quite cool. So I guess you could close and open the doors hopefully, which is quite awesome. Maybe that's the backside. I don't know exactly, but that looks quite cool. So really good stuff right there, and that is a cool release. And let's get into our in-flights from here. Okay, so there's no fire truck in this one. So again, I'd probably just get the fire truck if you're gonna get it, but definitely something I'm interested in getting for sure. That looks quite nice. Following that, we have the INFLIGHT 200 releases. Let's get into this. So following this, we have the FedEx McDonnell Douglas Boeing converted MD-1030 November 316 Foxtrot Echo with stand. This is a really cool model. I'm kind of eager on the price. No price. But yeah, that's going to be a while. It's at February 2023. So I'm definitely interested in that one. That one looks really cool. Very nice release. And of course, these are going to be getting retired at some point. So definitely want to represent it when we can. And that is quite a nice aircraft. So nice release right there. That is really cool. Okay, breathing into our next release, we have a NASA McDonnell Douglas DC-872 November 717 November Alpha. That is a really cool release. I honestly didn't know they had that mold, but I think that is a really cool one. That'll be quite helpful for anybody looking for a retro NASA plane, which I think it looks really nice. So definitely go out there and get that one. That is a really cool one. I think that one looks really good. Nice effort right there. That's really nice. Following that, we have a Saudi Arabia Airlines Lockheed L10111 or L1011, excuse me. That's what I'm looking for. TriStar 200. Really cool aircraft. That is quite nice. It seems like the engine might be a little too far up on the wing, but nevertheless, that looks really good. I really like that aircraft. So that'll be really good for anybody looking for it, and that'll be quite applicable to say the least. A really good looking aircraft right there, and I'm very pleased with that effort. That is really nice. Very nice job right there. Following that, we have the American Airlines Boeing 747-123 November 9666 with stand. Wow. Okay, so I like this. I like this a lot. Is it a buy? I don't know. I wish I had a little bit more sentimental attachment, and I will be honest, there are some chrome planes like 777s and 767s that are a little bit higher up on my list than the 747-100, but that does not change the fact that I would really like to represent this era at some point, and no matter when it is, I think this is a really cool release. I don't know if this one will hang around for a long time because there are going to be some retro collectors that snatch it up just like this, but still a really good effort, and I really like that aircraft. So yeah, that is a really good looking aircraft, and I think that's a really cool one that perhaps loop back around to, excuse me. Really nice aircraft right there, and that looks really good. Good job right there by InFlight. Following that, there it is, the American Airlines Airbus A319 115 with Sharklets November 9026 November. Okay, so really cool aircraft right here. I am going to pull up the picture because it's quite applicable. Take a look at that CFM CGI. That is so much better than the previous one, which is quite helpful. So definitely one that I will definitely consider, especially if they do a good job. $105. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable price for the quality of in-flight. So that looks like a really good aircraft. Another sneeze. Oh my. Hope I'm not getting sick, but nevertheless, looking really good, and that is a great looking aircraft right there for in-flight. Very nice effort right there. That's really nice. Pan Am Boeing 737-297 Advanced, November 70723. Like that aircraft a lot. That is a very good looking aircraft. Wow, that looks really good. Pan Am's livery is so stellar, and I think this is a really good example of that. So, really good release right here from in-flight. This has been very good. I've been very pleased with the effort. So, excited for that, and that'll be coming soon. Very nice. And then following that, we have the Austrian Airlines Airbus A340-313 Oscar Echo Lima Alpha Kilo. This is a really good looking aircraft. I really like the detail on this one, and quite frankly, this is a great looking airplane. So really nice effort right there, and that is a really good aircraft. Really good job right there on Austrian. That's really nice. And following that, we have the BOAC Boeing 707-436 polished Golf Alpha Papa Foxtrot with collector's coins with stand. Wow, okay, so I would like to see what the collector coin looks like. I'm sure it looks quite cool. I doubt they have anything on here, but I'll just look to make sure. But especially if it's like a skin tag or something, that is really cool. But I'd like to see what that coin's all about. That seems pretty cool. So nice effort right there, and that is a really good release right there for in-flight. Nice job, very nice. Okay, following that, we have the Air India Boeing 707-437 Victor Tango Delta November Yankee, yes. And this is also another retro model right here. So this is a really good looking aircraft. I really like the design, and it is quite unique. The gray underbelly, excuse me, goes so far up the fuselage. You don't see that all the time, especially in retro aviation. So that is really cool. I think that looks really good. So another fantastic release right there. And then following that, we have the USA Air Force Boeing TC-18 Echo. This is a 707-331 Charlie variant, 810893. Nice aircraft right there. That would be a really cool one to experiment with. Kind of curious on the price. I mean, I'm a little bit curious, like 100 and something. Okay, no price for now, but probably somewhere in the 120, 130 ballpark. But I think that is a good looking aircraft, and I think that one is quite nice. So another really good release right here for in-flight, and they continue to kill it. What can I say? They do a great job, and I'd like to buy one. I really even thinking about that A319. That looks really good, or something down the line. But nevertheless, good looking stuff to say the least. Here's a UK Air Force Boeing E3D Century. Nice. AEW1 707-300 Zulu Hotel 101, and this is with the stand as well. Cool looking aircraft. I really like to get an aircraft like this with some different aerials, and while I do have like a C-32A in the 400 scale and all that, I'd really like to see what it looks like in the 200 scale like this with all the antennas and then of course the big dome. I feel like that would be quite cool, and this is another really good looking aircraft. So good job right here for in-flight representing that. That is awesome. McDonnell Douglas DC-836 Freighter 9 Quebec Charlie Lima Hotel. That is a nice looking aircraft. Really like the detail on that, and while the CGIs get a little not necessarily horrendous, but the wings go up a little far. That one in the Saudia was the other one I realized. These both look pretty good. So nice looking aircraft right there, and I really like the livery. That's quite unique, and another really nice retro plane. It seems like every livery has a gray underbelly like that, but what can I say? Maybe another reason why the American Airlines Chrome livery is arguably the best livery of all time. It did make it one of the longest eras ever for a popular airline. So really nice. But let's take it into our next one. This is the Gadia Airways McDonnell Douglas DC-1030 9 Golf Alpha November Alpha polished with stand. Really nice. Another really cool livery. Very unique, especially with the cheat lines. You don't necessarily see one like this all the time, but I think it does a really good job representing what they do. I think this is a really cool airplane. So a really nice one and quite unique to say the least. So if you're looking for that, highly recommend getting that. Quite unique to say the least. Very nice. And that will do it for this in-flight set. Really good one, and maybe I'll be coming back to you, maybe you in the long term. And I do really like this Fedex Md10. That is a really cool plane. But you guys may be seeing an unboxing of this soon, so definitely stay on the lookout for it. That is a good looking plane. More planes than what I've normally ordered in this set are, this release reaction. Normally it's 0, but maybe that in the Lutons. That's looking really good. More new Geminis. You guys have seen those, so we won't go too far in detail on that. And more JC wings. So let's dive into detail, and hopefully we'll find some better, or some more JC wings. They've been really good, so even better, we'll see. So here we go with some new JCs. Let's see what we got going here. Very nice. Fedex Boeing 727-100 Freighter November 504 Foxtrot Echo. If this is in 1-400, oh man, I would be dumbfounded to say the least. But 1-200 is very nice, and especially for anybody looking for retro cargo planes, you don't get them all the time in the US, so this is a very good opportunity. I really like the old Fedex livery, and that is quite an aircraft right there. So highly recommend it if you're looking for that. That is quite nice. I think that is a good looking aircraft right there. Very nice. Alrighty, following that, we have the Air New Zealand Boeing 777-300 ERs, Zulu Kilo, Oscar Kilo, Quebec, all blacks with the advanced engine option. That is a killer release right there. I know somebody, or multiple people probably are going to be super happy with the advanced engine option. That is a really good release. I could just imagine like that one just taking the place right here. That would look kind of cool, but man, that is a cool looking aircraft, and I'm just curious if they have a price out for that. That would be a really cool one to get. $130. Okay, so that is a cool aircraft. I would really like to expand my 1-200 fleet, but of course, you see the price tags. They talk for themselves. But still, a very cool one to say the least from JC. Nice. Qantas Boeing 747-400ER, Victor Hotel Oscar Echo India, and this is the Wallabies livery, which is really cool. I remember this one coming out in 1-400, multiple people having it and being so upset that they couldn't get a normal livery, which is kind of funny. But this is another really cool aircraft, and especially for you Austrian collectors, or Australian. I accidentally said Austrian because I've been researching a little bit on Austrian lately, but Australian collectors, that'll be a really helpful plane. So that is a good looking one, and I'm very pleased with that effort from JC. Following that, we have a South African Boeing 747-300 Zulu Sierra Alpha Tango. I feel like InFlight might have done this one or like a 200 or something like that. But really cool to get to see JC getting in on the fun. I think this is another really good retro aircraft. South African's a really cool airline. I think this is another really great plane right here. Very nice effort right there. That's really nice. And then following that, we have the US Air Boeing 727-200 November 774 Alpha Lima. Another great retro release. This is a really good one, and somebody's going to be very excited for this. If I was a 1-200 collector, man, I just don't know how people afford it. But if I was, goodbye to the wallet. This would be another tough stretch, especially with what InFlight's been doing recently. And JC's had some really good releases, in my opinion. So that is another prime example of saving up, and you got to do it because some of these releases are absurd. That is a full day's work to get this aircraft. So that's quite crazy to think about, but what can I say? British Airways Boeing 737-400, excuse me. This is in the Landor livery. Golf Bravo Alpha Tango Alpha. Man, I cannot talk today. That is another really cool aircraft, and that would be cool to compare along with the Fokker 100. I think that is a good aircraft and another really cool Landor release. So the retro British 1-200 sector is getting fulfilled nicely, to say the least. Very nice effort. Singapore Airbus A380, like the 15th one, it seems. This is 9 Victor Sierra Kilo Bravo. Really like this aircraft as well. That is a nice simple livery, and I think that'll be really helpful for anybody looking for it. So good job right there, and that is quite a nice livery to say the least. And following that, we have the Lufthansa Airbus A310-300 Delta Alpha India Delta Alpha. Another great aircraft. I feel like somebody else also did this aircraft, or it was some sort of A300, but nevertheless a really good effort right there, and that is quite a nice aircraft to say the least. Very nice. And following that, we have a Great China Air Dash 8 Q300 Bravo 15237. Perhaps one of the most unique of the day. I really like this livery. Newer aircraft, it would seem, but this is really unique with the bird on the tail and everything. That is a really interesting plane, especially for any Chinese collector or anybody that is interested in buying this aircraft. Looks like a really cool one and quite unique. You got the Chinese language right here. I don't know exactly what that means, but nevertheless seems pretty cool and a nice looking aircraft to say the least. And here we go with the 1-400 sector. Let's get started with this. New model would appear. Okay, so we have a JASDF, Japan L Service Defense Force. Hopefully, I'm going to try my best, but I think it's like Kakashi. Hopefully, I said that kind of right. C128-1002. That is a very unique aircraft for 1-400 too. I was thinking this was, I thought this was Hobby Master Farm, and my goodness. That is a really unique aircraft for anybody looking for that. That is quite cool, and I really like that livery from the green to the brown to the tan. That is really, really, really unique. So that is quite an amazing plane. I think that's a really cool expansion. So good job right there by JC. That is really cool. Probably only one for this release. Yes, here's an interactive Cargolux Boeing 747-8F. Yes, 8F, Lima Foxtrot, Victor Charlie Mike in the cutaway livery, which is quite interesting. I don't know if they're promoting like recycling here and what those icons are. Let me see if I can get a better representation for you guys on that, because I'm kind of uneducated on that one. There's Boeing right here. I'm not, maybe, oh, I think they're maybe trying to show what the actual inside of the plane looks like. I'm not exactly sure, but quite an interesting plane to say the least. I think that looks pretty cool. So cool to have that on another special cargo livery. How about that? Another one. That's crazy. Following that, we have the Air China Boeing 747-400 Bravo 2472. This is another really good looking aircraft. I really like that effort, and I really like just the normal plain livery. It looks really good, and again, another fantastic livery right there. That is looking really good. So really nice effort right there from Air China. Very nice. Following that, we have the flaps down version, which is also super helpful. And like I was saying previous in the video, if you are looking for this aircraft and the normal one sells out, this is a great opportunity to get this one. So nice effort right there. That's really good. Following that, we have the Airbus A321neo Hotel Lima 8366. I believe this is one of the low-cost carriers in the region, and I think this looks really good. So this will be a really nice aircraft, and anybody in the region looking to collect this from Korea or anywhere like that, this will be quite helpful. So good-looking aircraft right there. That is really nice. Following that, we have a flaps down El Al Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner 4X Echo Romeo Bravo. That is another fantastic looking plane, just a nice simple livery. And I really like that effort right there. That is really good. And then following that, I'm assuming we have the normal one. Yes, we do. So another fantastic plane. And I think this will be really helpful. I really like the livery right there, and that is quite nice. So good job right there for El Al. Very nice. Iberia Airbus A320neo Echo Charlie November Delta November. This will be really helpful for anybody looking for this because Gemini did the 321 Express, and I think there's been a couple other Iberian narrow bodies done in the last couple of years, so this will be really helpful for anybody looking for this. So that is a cool release. I think JC's doing a good job with that one. So nice release right there. Very nice. Thai Airways Airbus ATR Thai Airways ATR 320, excuse me, Hotel Sierra Tango Romeo Kilo. That is another fantastic looking plane. I really like the effort right there, and that is a beautiful looking one. I feel like we got another ATR, a couple in the last video, but nevertheless, this will be another one great to complement it. I think it was a Thai, could be wrong on that, but it's another fantastic airplane, and excited to see that released in the 1:400 scale. That'll be really good. Following that, we have an EasyJet Airbus A321neo. I don't know the tail number, but that is a really good looking plane. I doubt I can click on it, or there we go. I can't click on it. Excuse me. This is registered EasyJet Europe to be particular. And this is Oscar Echo India Sierra Bravo. That is another great looking plane. I believe NG Models did a previous one, but if you missed on that one, this will be really helpful. And I think that is a good looking plane. So nice release right there for JC. And unfortunately, it looks like it cut off again, which really sucks. So hopefully I didn't miss too many more. But nevertheless, a fantastic release right here for JC. Really good ones. That all black and the Fedex really stand out. But you also have the US Air right there. And some other really good ones. No like US modern planes or anything. The El Al looks good. The Iberia. So great release right there. Very pleased with that effort. And I think they did a really good job on that one. So let's see what we have up next. Following that, we have a new in-flight JFOX special and some more JC future releases. Let's see what this one's all about. This is going to be quite interesting. So excited to see this. Here we go with JC Wings confirmed 1-200 pre-order. Let's see what we got going here. Lufthansa Airbus A340-300. How about that? Delta Alpha India Golf uniform. How about that? So this must be a really limited edition because it says only 36 hours left to pre-order. I'm sure that's expired as of now. No, I guess not. So that must update on an hourly basis, which is quite interesting. But yeah, really nice plane right there, and definitely be sure to go get it if you like it. That is a nice release. I'm sure that mold's really good. So nice release right there for Lufthansa. Very nice. SAS Scandinavian Airlines Airbus A321-253neo Sierra Echo Delta Mike Romeo. That is another fantastic looking airplane. I really like the livery on that one, and that looks really good. Definitely be sure to get that order in if you want a 1-200 SAS. Quite a unique plane. I think it looked really good. So nice effort right there for SAS. And next up, we have a Peach Aviation Airbus A320neo, excuse me. This Juliet Alpha 206 pop with the infamous Peach model that I have is pretty funny. I don't think I'll quite pick up this one, of course, but this is another fantastic looking plane. Looks really good. So nice effort right there for Peach. And following that, we have an Air Transit Boeing 737-800 or 8 Quebec 8. This is Charlie Golf Tango Quebec Charlie in the Welcome Revenir livery, which is quite nice. I think that one looks really good. If you're looking for Air Transit 737, that is a great opportunity to get with the JC Wings mold. So another fantastic looking airplane right there. Very nice. Following that, we have a hopefully I said that right, Boeing 767-3 Zulu 9ER Star Alliance Oscar Echo Lima Alpha Zulu. That is another fantastic release right there, and I really like the all-white Star Alliance livery along with the non-winglet 767. That is really cool. I think that will be another very popular release right there for in-flight. They continue to nail it with some of these releases. Here's another Star Alliance. This is going to be finally an Austrian out of all airlines, Boeing 767-3 Zulu 9ER, and this is also Star Alliance, like I said, Oscar Echo Lima Alpha I'm sorry, Yankee, yes. So this is the this is the sister ship to the previous one, which is quite interesting. I think that looks quite cool with the blue engines and the Star Alliance tail. So that is really nice. I think they did a really good job on that one. And nice to finally get to use Austrian rather than Australian, even though Australian is very applicable. And we'll see if we have to use that again today. Singapore Airbus A340-313 9 Victor Sierra Golf Oscar. This is another fantastic retro plane. In-flight's been killing it, as you guys can see, and they've done a very, very, very good job. So another good aircraft right there, and that is quite nice. Very nice effort right there. Cathay Pacific Airbus A330-341 One World livery Bravo Hotel Lima uniform. Very nice aircraft right there. I really like the One World on this aircraft with the previous Cathay design, if you will, and that looks quite nice. So a really good livery right there, and I think they did a very good job with that aircraft. Good job right there from in-flight. That is really nice. Okay, taking a minute to breathe here. Next up is a Singapore Airlines Boeing 737 MAX. This is MAX 8, I should say, even though it has a 737-8 MAX. But nevertheless, this is 9 Victor Mike Bravo India. This is another fantastic looking aircraft, and as you guys can see, a really good one. And I feel like they did this previously, could be wrong on that, but a nice aircraft right there, very good. And following that, we have a Korean Airbus A330-323 Hotel Lima's 8001. Very nice. I know my good friend B767 got to fly on Korean Air previously on their A330s. I think he flew the sister ship, maybe 8002. So maybe he'll consider getting that aircraft. But this is another great aircraft, like delivery, and a very unique one to say the least. Into some future 1-200s, here is the all black Star Alliance Air New Zealand. How about this Airbus A321neo? This is a really beautiful aircraft. I'm really glad to see so many people doing it. NG Models is doing, obviously JC, and I think there was a couple others. So really good to see this right here. That is a very nice future release. Very nice. Following that, we have the Republic of Korea Air Force Boeing 737-300 85101. That is another very cool aircraft. I think that'll be quite helpful in reference to getting some more geography out there. So really nice, and that is another cool aircraft right there for JC. Following that, we have the Netherlands Coast Guard Dash 8 Q100 Charlie Golf Charlie Foxtrot Kilo. That is another fantastic airplane. I really like the design on that one, and that one looks really good. So a good effort right there, and that looks fantastic right there for the Netherlands Coast Guard. Really cool plane. That's very unique. And here we go, some 1-400s. Here's the Egypt government Boeing 747-8I Sierra Uniform Echo Golf Yankee. This is a very cool looking plane. Very simple, but I think it looks really good. So another fantastic plane, and another good custom, prospect perhaps. That's how I was trying to word that. That is a good model right there, and I really like the effort. Very nice. Central Airlines Boeing 777F Bravo 2079, and this is an interactive series. That is a really cool looking plane. I really like delivery, and that is quite unique, of course, with all these symbols and everything. So that looks really cool. Very nice, and that would be one I would recommend. That seems pretty cool. And there's an interactive Silkway West Airlines Boeing 747-400 freighter 4 Kilo Bravo Charlie Hotel. You rarely see that tail number, but this is a really neat plane with the gray and obviously all the colors to mesh with that. That is a really cool livery, and I would highly recommend that if you're looking for that. That is quite cool. Very nice effort right there for a cargo carrier. And that is it for that JC release. That was another fantastic one. And let's see, in flight of course, and let's see what our next setup is. So here's some more Hobby Masters. It looks like we got some T-38s. So let's see what we have going here. Very nice. All right, this is going to be awesome. First aircraft up is a Wolf-Off, I should say, Airbus Eurofighter EF 2000 60-year Airbus Manching 98+7, September 2022. That is quite an interesting aircraft right there. I really like the design. You rarely see an aircraft like that with all the color to it in the military realms, that is. And I think that looks really nice. Very applicable model right there. That is a really good one. Photo credit, of course, to the photographer right here. That is really nice. So one I would definitely recommend. That is a good looking aircraft to say the least. Following that, we have a Cuban Air Force MiG-29 Alpha Fulcrum 213 SFS San Julian Air Base, 1997. Man, I cannot talk today, but that is another fantastic looking aircraft if you're looking for it. I think that is a good one and a very nice one to change it up a little bit. So nice aircraft right there. That's very nice. Following that, we have a U.S. Navy F-18E Super Hornet VSF 131 Tomcatters Meridian C 2011 livery. That is a very cool looking aircraft. I really like the emblem on the back right there. That is quite nice and quite a unique one to say the least. I really like that effort. So a very nice aircraft right there for the U.S. Navy. Very nice. Following that, we have a Japan JASDF F4EJ ACM 2003 winner. I'm going to try to say it slow so I can say it right. 8SQ Miskawa. Okay, so that is a pretty cool looking aircraft. I think it looks really good. Hotel Alpha 1927 Bravo. Very cool aircraft. I really like the design there, and that is another very cool aircraft from Hobby Master. Really cool one. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for it. Very nice. USAF F-15EX Eagle Tooth 53 WG 2002 with 8X AIM 120. Okay, so this is really cool to get to see up there for, I don't know where this one is based particularly, but I think this is a good looking aircraft. Hotel Alpha 5, or see, I get confused between the tail number and, because some of them actually seem applicable, but this is actually just the Hobby Master number, which I apologize about. But that is a good looking aircraft. I think it looks really good. I'm excited to see how Hobby Master does on that aircraft. So another fantastic looking aircraft. That is a really good one right there. We have a Royal Saudia Air Force F-15SA 2022 with a GM-84 Hoplon missiles livery. That is a really good, or not livery, but with those features, that is a really good looking aircraft. I think tell maybe AGM-84 maybe, but that is a really cool one. Very unique to say the least, and I think they did a good job on that. So that's looking pretty good so far. Following that, we have a RAAF Australian Air Force that did come up again. That's pretty funny. F111 Charlie variant. This is the Austrian #1 Squadron, 1984-1985, and that is a really cool looking plane. I like the green and brownish combo. That is a really cool livery, and of course the yellow spark that looks really nice, and I really like that. So good job right there for the Austrian Air Force. Gosh darn it, Australian Air Force. Sorry guys. Following that, we have a F105G Thunderbird, and this is the 17th WWS 388 TFW Corag RTAB 1973. Okay, so that was kind of a tongue twister, but that is another very good looking aircraft. Really like the design, especially with the short tail. Quite interesting to say the least, but I would be interested in getting one of those sometime. That's a cool livery right there. Very nice. Alrighty. Next aircraft in line is a USAF T-38C Thailand 49th FTS Black Knights Moody Air Force based in Georgia 2006. That is really cool. I would be interested in getting a T-38 in the USAF. I really like a Wichita Falls one or something like that. But nevertheless, this is really cool, and I really like that. That is very neat. So really cool plane right there. That is really cool, and that is definitely one that I'll consider for sure. I am curious on the price though if they have one. Let's see. $81. That seems pretty applicable, so I think that would be a good plane. Let me know what you guys think about that. That seems pretty cool. Excuse me, guys. Next plane up is probably another one because I saw 2X. Let's see. Yes, here we go with the Talon 50th FTS. This is the Striking Snakes Columbus Air Force Base from 2009. Really cool. Now, I'm sure there's a particular niche for all these retro military collectors. I'm sure this is very pleasing to them. A really cool plane, and that'll be quite helpful in reference to representing those aircraft. So that's a really cool plane. Definitely interested. Probably this one, since this is a little bit more common of livery if I do choose to get one, but that is a really cool one right there. Very nice. That's really cool. Following that, we have a U.S. Army AH-64E Apache Guardian First Aircraft via 2018. That is really cool. Wondering what the price is, but I would really like to get a helicopter sometime. $99. That seems like that would be a really cool helicopter to add to the fleet, and quite an interesting one to say the least, but I'm sure that the Hobbymaster molds are quite applicable. So really nice aircraft right there, and that looks really good. Very nice effort right there. Really good. And here we have a Qatar Emirates Air Force A68-64E Apache Guardian 2022. This is another really cool aircraft and very particular, but I think that is a really cool one, and definitely go buy it if you're interested in that. That is a really cool plane, and I really like that effort right there. That is quite nice to say the least. Really cool to say the least right there. Very nice. And here we go with some 1-48 scales, so probably some Spitfires. Let's see what we got. Yes, indeed. USA P-51 Mustang Daddy's Girl 414733 Ace Modest Westmore FG Norfolk 1945. Really cool aircraft right there. I would like to get one of these Spitfires sometime, but I think this is a very nice aircraft, and I really like the livery they got going there. That is really nice. So good effort right there from Daddy's Girl with the Norfolk one right there. That is really nice. Following that, that is it. So that is a really cool release right there. The T-38s especially are quite nice, but I do like this US Navy and all the applicable details. Also, this one right here is really cool. So nice release right there, and Hobbymaster really doing a good job. So maybe we'll get the T-38. So next on the list, it looks like we have our final in-flight release and the final one of the video. Really excited to take a look at this, and this will be quite nice. So let's see, and I might break this up in 2 videos because this has been a really long release reaction. Didn't realize how long it would be, but nevertheless, let's see what we got going right here with the in-flight, the final round. Let's see if they can impress me. I'm excited for it. Here we go, boys. JAL Japan Airlines doubles DC-862 Juliet Alpha 8031. Nice. Cool looking aircraft. We've talked about the retro livery so many times in this video with the cheat line and everything. I don't need to explain it again. Nevertheless, a really cool aircraft, and I really like that effort right there. That is very nice. Very clean. Following that, we have an ATA Airlines Lockheed L1011 November 188 Alpha Tango in the Pleasant Hawaiian Holidays livery. Wow. A really unique aircraft. The Hawaii titles especially are quite unique. I think this is a really cool livery. Anybody looking for a very unique retro heavy aircraft, this might be the one for you. So a really cool aircraft right there, and that is looking quite applicable to say the least. Very nice. Here's a USAF Boeing EC-18D or 707323 Charlie variant 810895. Cool. This is really cool. So this is a really neat looking aircraft. I don't think I've seen one quite like this, and it is a really cool one. So anybody looking for a really retro, technically military aircraft, if you want to call it that, but United States Air Force aircraft, this is definitely the one for you. That is very unique. Very cool release. Following that, we have a USA Air Force KC-10 Alpha 870122 with stand. Wow. This is what I really want to see a KC-10 really bad in real life. This is really cool to get to see in the model form. Of course, the KC-10 is the military version of the DC-10, and this is such a cool looking airplane. Man, very interested in this. Maybe one day we'll have to see, but that is a fantastic looking plane right there. That is really nice. I'd really like that effort right there. Very cool. Really good plane right there. Qantas Airbus A330-300 Victor Hotel Quebec Papa Alpha. That is a very good looking plane if you're looking for any normal Qantas plane. Quite interesting with these decals right here, but I think that's pretty standard. So that is a really good looking plane. And again, for anybody looking for a Qantas 330, that is the one for you. Really nice effort. Portugal Air Force Lockheed P3C. I did not know InFlight had this mold. 14808. That is a very, and I mean very unique aircraft, especially in reference to the design. That is really neat, especially this back portion. Haven't quite seen something like that, if I had to be brutally honest. That is really cool though, and I think that will be a really cool one. I'm just curious what the selling is. It's probably like the size of maybe like a DC-9 or something. $120. Wow, impressive. But that wolf does look quite applicable. So that is a good looking plane right there. And again, a very interesting release to say the least. This has been a massive video. Wow. How about that? Following that, we have a Royal Jordanian Boeing 747-200 Juliet Yankee Alpha Foxtrot Sierra. We're really cranking it back with this release. This is a very, very good looking one. I can't believe that they kept those into that livery, which is quite cool because this is obviously their current day livery. Of course, they're now operating the Boeing 787s, but this is a very nice aircraft, and I think that looks really good. So anybody wanting to represent that era, that is a really good aircraft for you, and that is a good looking plane. Very nice. Essen or not Australian, excuse me, or Austria. Yeah, I think that might be Austria actually. Fokker F-28 4000 Fellowship Victor Hotel Echo Whiskey Bravo. This might turn into the new meme, whether I can say Austrian or Australian, but nevertheless, a really good looking aircraft. Really cool to get to see an F-28 out there, and I think that is another fantastic looking plane. I really appreciate that effort, and that is a really good plane from InFlight right there. And then following that, we have a I'm going to try my best here. Lufthansa Icelandic Airlines doubles DC-863 Charlie Foxtrot variant. This is Tango Foxtrot Foxtrot Lima Alpha, and that is a very unique looking plane. I'm not going to go into the retro airline spill again because you guys know the drill at this point, but I do really like the font on the titles and the tail design. That is quite unique and looking good, and there's another example of the wings, but what can I say? This has been quite a release reaction to say the least. Iceland Air Boeing 737 MAX 8 Tango Foxtrot India Charlie uniform this time with the new livery magenta. Okay, so this one looks quite interesting too. I will say I do prefer that green, but I still think the magenta looks quite interesting, especially in reference to the color combo. That is quite interesting, and what a contrast that provides on the Iceland Air livery. So quite applicable, but a good looking one, especially if you're trying to get as many Iceland Airs as possible. Really nice right there. And that is it for our release reaction today. A massive one, a great in-flight set to finish this off. The most interesting one to me is probably the Iceland Air, honestly. But that is a really cool one, and I thoroughly hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Massive release reaction. What a great one, though. Again, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Fantastic release here. And again, sorry if I seemed a little tired. Hope I'm not getting sick, but man, that was a massive release reaction. But it's been, the college grind's going. What can I say? Looking good. The cat's doing its thing. The cat kind of feels how I do right now. But nevertheless, we're going to keep repping it. I'm really excited for what's to come. I hope you guys are as well. And yes, I'm very excited for it. I hope you guys are too. And with all that being said, that will do for today's video, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.